Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Clearly Ambiguous. I hope you guys are doing well. Now, this episode is going to be more of a short follow up on what we spoke about in our last video. And because there's much water that has flown under the bridge since those crass jokes and comments were made by a very famous YouTuber who a lot of people idealize in this country called Mr. Ranveer Labadia. Now, today there was a decision. There was a discussion in the Honorable Supreme Court on a petition that was filed by him, his legal counsel, and Supreme Court has made certain observations and has instructed the YouTuber to actually not upload any new content, and has actually, in pretty strong words, conveyed the message that the comments and everything was in very poor taste and definitely deserved the outrage that he got. However, we will come back to the outrage that has happened over this, because somehow there seems to be two sides to every coin, right? So there have been people who have taken the outrage a little too far, and at the same point of time, there are people who are just questioning the outrage. And I'd like to add my 50 cents worth to it, or 50 paisa worth to it. So, one good thing is that yes, the outrage that people had, right, brought to attention of even the highest court, that this is something which was definitely not acceptable. See, a lot of people ended up saying, we abuse in our day-to-day activities. There is a lot of abuses which are there in series and OTT platforms, and it's been happening for a while. So, two wrongs does not make a right, is what I'd like to say. If it's wrong there, it's wrong here. And if somebody does it and says this is freedom of speech, and then of course everybody's freedom of expression gives them the right to outrage over this thing. I can even understand those people who question this outrage, because that is their freedom of expression on the outrage that is happening. What is definitely not acceptable is, yes, what will be the difference between us and totalitarian regimes if we basically, for somebody speaking something that goes against our beliefs, we take law into our own hands. We should have faith, no matter what our personal views might be on the legal system, and we might be disappointed about the slow progress in a lot of other cases and everything. We still have to understand that that very same legal system heard this and expedited this entire thing, right? So one thing that was good this time around is that the outrage did reach the right ears. And I hope that, I don't want to give any advice to the comedians, because everybody is giving advice to the comedians right now, how to be a comic. I won't like to give advice to those guys, but they need to be careful. Everybody needs to be careful. Even I am being careful right now of not saying something which I might be really like, I might be thinking, I could say something much, much worse, and the anger. No. We all have to function in a society, and every society comes with reasonable restrictions. If there is too much restriction, of course, there will be people who will raise their voices against those restrictions, and those restrictions change. So, but saying something which is so out of taste, like just to be funny, and that too not being original as well. That is something which is really, really bad. At the same time, a lot of people questioning that, we have to stop doing this as well. That we start this thing about, oh, why are you getting angry at this thing? We are not getting angry at the environmental issues or this thing happening there. Listen, shouldn't we just be happy that we just got angry about something wrong? And yes, our society probably needs to learn even more and start raising their voice against certain other things, which might be even like um, a very deplorable incident has happened just a couple of days back in one of the universities. And certain statements which were made by administrators in uh, that university are completely, racist. And why are we not getting angry over that as well? Unfortunately, a student has lost her life, and we should feel very strongly about that as well. And we should probably, but then again, uh, it's the society's choice to cherry pick to what to get angry on, what not to get angry on. And sometimes we might get disappointed about it, but this is what we live in. And we can probably speak about it. See, the platform that is available to Mr. Allahabadia to say what he wants is available to you and me as well. And we can use that as well. But I would like to say that, use it in a way where you have to understand that once you do go online, and please remember, we have to always remember this fact that internet does not forget. If it's there, and if today Mr. Samay Rana has deleted this content, there are people who have made clips of it, and it will keep going on and on. And every time something like this happens, those clips will resurface, these memes will happen. Memes just don't go away, no matter how hard you try. So I'm sure it's going to haunt us as much as it's going to haunt Mr. Allahabadia. Because I'm sure he's worked really hard. Also, another thing is that a lot of people are right now criticizing the government for the fact that they actually gave him an award, Disruptor of the Year award. Fine, that was given for his good work. But if he probably got so desperate and just wanted, in the name of dark comedy, ended up saying something so unacceptable, I'm sure he deserves. See, if he deserves the attention and the love, the respect that people give him, because obviously he makes money on the videos that he uploads, right? So, and people appreciate that, and that appreciation goes back to him in a way that people subscribe to him, join these channels, and pay for them. So they make money on it. I'm sure YouTube makes money. YouTube makes money as well, but the creators make money as well. And a lot of people are here to make money because, yes, YouTube, it can be today a legitimate profession where you get paid by the. At the same point of time, nobody should do something like this, which will bring scrutiny. I'll tell you, another thing that a lot of people who probably are not thinking about, and as I said earlier, also there is always something which is clear and something which is a little ambiguous. This will bring scrutiny on everything. And what if now? See, we were all very happy that, internet is probably one thing which is not censored. Even if there are certain restrictions, we can probably find ways around it, so on and so forth. So internet was that one true space which is really not censored. And people have tried it, mind you, people have tried it. Mark Zuckerberg has tried it when there was that entire Facebook thing. They wanted to do that tie up with Geo as well. So they've tried it because at that point of time, people went black on, like, they changed their profile pictures and everything and stopped that. And that it's not going to end there. People who are more powerful are going to probably exert their control over this as well. And using this platform for saying and doing something which really does not help society much will probably take this one last completely uncensored thing out of our hands now. And then what will you do, right? Because see, there is always somebody who's critiquing, right? And there is always a good critique and a bad critique. In most cases, people who critique you and you do not like their criticism automatically become bad critiques to you, while they are good for somebody else. So it should not happen now that by this crass remark, there is something that happens that we end up losing our freedom. Because somebody, in the name of their freedom of expression, has messed it up for all of us. Another thing was that I did hear a lot of people saying, why did the Maharashtra CM or the Assam Chief Minister get into it? And why the politicians? See, politicians will always want to focus on issues that can connect them to what's going on right now. Because, come on. They're in it for the, what do you say? For the publicity as well. So, see, my question to those people who are questioning why are these chief ministers and other politicians getting in on the act? We outraged, and that outrage got picked up. That outrage got picked up by media. That outrage got picked up by our lawmakers. Usually, we are very disappointed that our lawmakers usually do not listen to us. And this time around, if they've listened to us and they have probably done something in their power to address it, now we are complaining. We can now probably use this in future to tell them that, listen, we can probably raise this kind of crescendo of noise again on issues which are just not all about just this foul language and stuff. We will probably see enough voice raised in the Nirbhaya case made sure that there were strong legislation. The government of the day had to take cognizance of it. So, outrage should happen. Outrage should not lead to violence. And at the same point of time, we all need to bear in mind that we are part of a society, and although no matter how much we would like to be called disruptors or anarchists or whatever, if it does not bring any common good to people, we should probably abstain from it. Well, that's what I think about it. I think this should probably be the end of this. There are lot many other things that we should probably focus on. The unfortunate incident of the Nepalese girl should probably receive more attention right now, because that is not only going to impact students in our country, but there's going to impact a lot of foreign students who come to India as a destination for education. And as we are doing this, and we are imparting education to so many foreign students, and we like to be called that the great contributor to education, so on and so forth, we also need to understand that probably some of the times we need to behave a lot better, and so that unfortunate incidents like this do not happen. I'm sure there is an inquiry which has been called on it, and let's see what happens. I seriously would like to say something right now which probably improves the mood a bit, but then again, the situation is somber, and at this point of time, I would not like to be unreasonable and say something which might not be in good taste. Anyways, that's my time for today. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. If you have enjoyed anything, please hit the like button. Please also share it with at least one more person. Help our channel grow as well. And we'll see you next time. Until then, you take care. Good night.